Hi ladies, today we are talking about the real reason that you are waking up between 1 and 4 a.m. and it's probably not what you think or what you hear or what you've been told. So have you ever, do you fall asleep just fine, but then you wake up around 1, 2, 3, or 4 and you're wide awake, sometimes you feel anxious or you're hungry, sometimes you're hot and you can't fall back to sleep? I'm gonna explain what's happening. So you might think that this is just hormones or age or your liver is, like detoxifying, but that's not actually what it is. This is actually what it is that nobody's talking about. It's your liver glycogen. Liver glycogen. So this is very common to have a problem with your liver glycogen if you are a woman with some of these metabolism blockers like fatty liver, gallbladder, insulin resistance, thyroid issues, and especially if you're in perimenopause or menopause. And this is what you need to know. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So there's nothing wrong with your body. It's actually doing exactly what it's supposed to. So in this video, I'm gonna explain what liver glycogen is, why you can be woken up because of it, and what you can do to sleep deeply all night long. So let me just start by explaining a little bit about your body's fuel systems. So you have two main fuel storage systems in your body. You have muscle glycogen, so that's an extra reserve of glucose that gets converted into longer chains called glycogen. And you have liver glycogen. And liver glycogen helps to fuel your entire body. So it sort of slowly releases glycogen throughout the day and night. And your muscle glycogen mostly fuels your movement and if you do workouts. So this liver glycogen, what fuels your brain and your liver needs glucose and your brain needs glucose, and it's what fuels these organs that can't run off of fat or ketones between meals and overnight. So your liver is your blood sugar stabilizer, because if your blood sugar gets too low, that can cause a lot of problems. It's a survival issue. You could actually pass out, have a seizure. So your liver is responsible for maintaining a very tight range of blood sugar. But while you sleep for 7 to 9 hours, your liver needs to have enough of this glycogen, liver glycogen, to slowly release it all night long while you're sleeping. So, and that's what keeps your blood sugar stable at night while you're not eating. But what happens when your liver runs out of glycogen? Well, this is a problem because all of a sudden your body is still needing glucose, but your glycogen storage just ran out. So your body has to do two things. So number one, it releases cortisol and adrenaline, and that stimulates something called gluconeogenesis, which converts muscle and fat into glucose. And that cortisol and adrenaline also wakes you up to alert you like, hey, we have a problem here. You might need to go get some food. So number one, it's gonna help produce glucose while you're sleeping, but it wakes you up. And then, so number two, it helps you to go get food. So that's why you're up. Your blood sugar is down, your cortisol and adrenaline is up, and you can't fall asleep. And sometimes you're hungry, and if you eat something, it helps you fall back to sleep. But a lot of us think we don't want to eat at night because we don't want to get fat. We don't want to gain fat. And so we don't eat anything in the middle of the night. But that's actually what your body needs. But I'm going to teach you how to avoid those middle of the night wakings, and so you don't have to be eating. So what happens when you have cortisol and adrenaline is you feel alert, anxious, hot and sweaty, and possibly hungry, and you cannot fall back asleep. And that's why my blood sugar trick works by eating either a half a piece of fruit or 4 ounces of juice can help get your blood sugar back up so that your cortisol and adrenaline can come back down. But this is really important for metabolism and weight loss. So we do not want to be waking up in the middle of the night and then awake for several hours. Number one, it's frustrating, but it also gets in the way of fat loss. Because when your cortisol spikes at night, It's slowing your thyroid conversion. You're not sleeping well, so you're missing out on several hours of sleep. And then the next day, your cortisol is higher. You're going to experience more cravings. You're going to have less energy, and you're going to have less insulin resistance. So that is why it's so important for us to sleep. And sleep is a driver of fat loss, because while you're sleeping, while your body is resting, you're burning two fuel sources. You're burning the glycogen for your brain and your liver. You're also burning fat. So the more you sleep, it's like a bear in hibernation, you're burning your fat stores while you're sleeping. And that's why it's so important for us to get good sleep. So this is really common to run out of glycogen for women who are skipping carbohydrates, you're fasting, you're exercising without fueling first, you have gallbladder or bowel flow issues and you're not absorbing the fats from your diet, so you're not getting as many calories, or you have a congested liver or a sluggish liver, fatty liver, and so that can kind of impair your glycogen storage. Or you're in perimenopause and you actually need more energy during the day because of higher need for energy because of all the hormone fluctuations. So if you're running out of glycogen, it's a really big sign that you are not fueling your body properly, that you're not eating enough, you're not fueling before your workouts, you're fasting, you're skipping meals. Okay, these are things that are going to cause you to run out of those glycogen stores, and then you're going to wake up in the middle of the night. And the way that you can overcome this problem is you need to slowly and systematically increase your carbohydrates, or you can do it all in one shot. You might need a refueling day, a day where you eat more food, more protein, more carbohydrates, not just the junk food, although that's okay once in a while, but you're actually spiking your calorie intake so that you can fill up your liver stores, because all these things, under eating, skipping meals, fasting, intermittent fasting, cutting out carbs, is depleting your liver stores. And I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to burn more fat, but when you deplete your liver stores, it kind of puts your body in this high state of stress, and it knows it doesn't have glycogen stores. And so it's going to put you on edge, and you're just going to feel a little bit tense all the time because your liver stores are so low. So how you build up your glycogen is, like I said, you could have 1 day or 2 days where you intentionally eat more food, like maybe 500 or even 1,000 more calories, starting in the morning, not waiting until the evening, but starting in the morning, and filling up your glycogen stores steadily. So maybe, whatever you're normally used to eating, add an extra serving of carb at each meal. So an extra 100 calories of carbs, which looks like about a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup, or rice or potatoes or a piece of fruit. So that's what that looks like. That's a 100 calorie serving. So you don't build glycogen stores by protein alone, or you don't power through with willpower. You don't keep fasting. What you need to do is be very consistent with your calorie intake, and even push it up a little bit for a couple days to build up your glycogen stores. And so that's why in Metabolism Tune-Up, we focus on protein-anchored meals. We do strategic carbohydrates that are very nourishing, and they're not those quick digesting carbs that are going to spike your blood sugar and insulin. We want slow burning carbs like potatoes and squash and brown rice, or even a small amount of rice. We want to make sure that we're getting adequate calories and that we are building up our metabolism week by week by week, and we are increasing how many calories we're eating. And that's why we don't have the all or nothing attitude. So if you go out with your friends, or you have a social event or a work party, and you end up eating some things that you didn't want to, that's okay, because those are actually building up your glycogen stores. And that's going to allow you to bring down your cortisol, sleep better at night, and when you're sleeping better, you're going to be burning fat. And that's also why sometimes you can have a snack before you go to bed, because a little bit of carbohydrates can just top off your glycogen to make sure that you can make it through the night. So here is what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to self-evaluate. Are you waking up between 1 and 4 a.m.? Do you sleep better when you eat more? Have you noticed that when you eat more, you're sleeping better? If you do wake up in the middle of the night and you eat something, do you fall back asleep right away? And do you sleep worse in low calorie or low carb days? So I want you to ask yourself that. And if you see yourself in this pattern, this is a very helpful tool, a very, very helpful feedback marker about your body, because it's saying that you're under eating, you're not getting enough energy. And so your sleep is suffering, and then that is maybe even preventing you from losing weight because you're not getting enough sleep. Sleep is one of the most important things you can do for your metabolism and weight loss. And so we have to be sleeping a solid 8 hours every night. If you're not, you are under eating and you need to build up your calories. And that's where you can go and watch the video about reverse dieting and how to do that safely so you're not going to end up gaining weight. So I hope that was helpful, because a lot of us are struggling with sleep and we don't realize that we are under eating and our body does not have enough energy. It doesn't have enough fuel reserves to get us through the night. So if that's you, I want you to build up your calories, maybe have a bedtime snack, something with some carbs and fat and protein. You know, that bone broth hot chocolate. You could even have like a little bit of oatmeal with some peanut butter. A little bit of carbs and a little bit of fat will help your body, help you sleep better. So just, I know it's hard to eat more because it's so ingrained in us that we need to eat less to lose weight, but it's actually, we need to eat the right kind of foods at the right times in order to support our entire metabolism so we can sleep better and we can actually accomplish our goals. So it's a lot of rewiring what we've been taught and reprogramming our mind about how we lose weight. And so if you're waking up in the middle of the night, it's a very big sign that you're not getting enough to eat and you need to eat more. Okay, I hope that was very helpful, and I will see you next time.